Hi everyone, I'm Kent Louie, science teacher and talking head, talking best practice in science education and broadcasting from beautiful Vancouver, Canada. And this is episode 66. And today we're talking about building bath bombs to show how science concepts like rates of reactions can be taught in hands-on ways. Now this bath bombs lab is a chemistry activity I've done with my students that requires them to build and test prototypes. Now this generally doesn't happen, of course, in chemistry labs. My students enjoyed doing this lab a lot. And best of all, it's a fun and hands-on way to teach students about the factors that affect reaction rate. Now I'll tell you what to do with the bath bombs and how we build one in a second. But before I continue, handouts for this episode, including the instructions to build a bath bomb, are available at realsciencechallenge.com/EP66. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now here is the objective of the lab. I want students to create 200 mils of bubbles in exactly 15 seconds. It's kind of like a 15-second timer, but with bubbles and bath bombs. Now here's what they do. Take a 250 ml graduated cylinder and fill it with 50 mils of water. Add a drop of dish soap to this. Here's my drop, okay? Then add the bath bomb. But before you do that, get a timer out, add the bath bomb, and watch the bubbles form. Now this is pretty pathetic right now, but we're gonna stop the timer when the bubbles reach 250. So this is gonna take a while, all right? This is not a very good bath bomb. Now, this reaction is very similar to the reaction between baking soda and vinegar, where bubbles of carbon dioxide are formed. And we're capturing those carbon dioxide bubbles. Now, my students are marked on how close they get to forming 200 mils of bubbles in 15 seconds. And this requires students to speed up or slow down the reaction by adjusting the concentration of the bath bomb. That means like the amount of citric acid or baking soda or cornstarch they use. They can also modify the shape or surface area of the bath bomb or the temperature of the water to either make more bubbles or fewer bubbles in 15 seconds. All this while adhering to some build restrictions, which I'll talk about in a second. Now this takes a few rounds of experimentation, which is actually part of the fun. And by the end, your students are gonna be like bath bomb experts. So here's how we make a bath bomb. Step one, you take an evaporating dish and you add 1 spoon of cornstarch and 2 spoons of citric acid. Note, the size of the spoon really doesn't matter. What matters is that they're the same size, okay? Step two, use a medicine dropper and add a couple of drops of water to this and then mix with your hands, okay, fingers, okay? And continue to add a few drops of water at a time and mixing until the mixture kind of feels like oobleck, kind of that liquidy solid that you get with cornstarch and water. Also, you don't want it too wet because then it's not going to form into a shape very well. Step three, now add 4 spoons of baking soda and again mix together with your fingers. Now the mixture should feel dryish, kind of like uncooked pie crust, kind of flaky and dry. But even if it feels really dry, don't add any more water to this. Okay, I repeat, don't add water after you add the baking soda in. This is very important because if you add more water to this, then you're going to cause a reaction between the citric acid and baking soda. And what's going to happen is you're going to react away all the active ingredients even before you've made your bath bomb. Afterwards, dump the dry mixture into your hand and squeeze into a ball or cube and then put it out to dry on a paper towel. Now here are some examples of other bath bombs that my students have made. So you see this one looks like it's been squeezed together by hand, okay? So here is a puck. And this is what happens when water is added after all the ingredients, the baking soda, citric acid, the cornstarch has been added together. If you add any more water, you get pucks because all the reaction has already taken place. Now, when creating bath bombs, students are given size and weight restrictions in my class. For example, bath bombs can't be heavier than 10 grams. bath bombs actually have to be a solid. They can't be powder. Bath bombs have to be able to fit into the opening of a graduated cylinder. And finally, bath bombs can contain any other active ingredients besides cornstarch, besides citric acid and baking soda. That's it for this episode. Please smash the like or subscribe button or leave a comment below. And handouts, once again, are at realsciencechallenge.com/EP66. Thanks for watching, and let's talk science education again soon.